November 27, 2018, Detroit, Michigan, USA. Detroit Pistons forward Blake Griffin, 23, dribbles defended by New York Knicks guard Allonzo Trier, 14, in the first half at Little Caesars Arena. Mandatory credit, Rick Osentoski-USA Today Sports. Rick Osentoski, New York is looking to end a stretch of poor play that has resulted in 26 losses in the past 28 games overall. The Knicks' only win since December 1 are a 126-124 overtime decision at Charlotte on December 14 and a 119-112 road victory over the Los Angeles Lakers on Jan. 4. New York has the 14th skid in NBA history of at least 14 home losses. The league record of 19 consecutive home defeats set by the 1993-94 Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks' overall losing skid, the third longest in team history, continued Sunday with a 96-84 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. Sunday marked the sixth straight game the Knicks were held under 100 points, and New York shot just 38.4% from the floor. New York will play its last game before the Thursday trade deadline and its third since trading Kristaps Porzingis and three other players to Dallas for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews. All three players appeared Sunday, with Smith and Jordan in the starting lineup. Jordan collected 12 points and 12 rebounds in 29 minutes, Smith scored 8 points, and Matthews finished with 5 points. While Smith is on his rookie contract, after being picked No. 9 overall in 2017, Jordan and Matthews are expiring contracts and are seen as trade candidates by Thursday or buyout candidates by March 1. Both of those guys have played some playoff series on some really good basketball teams, Knicks coach David Fizdale said of Jordan and Matthews. And who knows what the future holds for these guys. There are now free agents at the end of the year, but who knows? I want them to come here and enjoy the process with us and really help the young guys. The Knicks, who lost 115-108 at Detroit on November 27, will visit the Motor City again on Friday. Greater than read more. Copyright 2019 by the Associated Press. New York Knicks forward Kristaps Porzingis, 6, in the first half of an NBA basketball game Thursday, Jan. 25, 2018, in Denver. AP photo, David Zalabowski, AP, as Kristaps Porzingis lifted his new Mavericks threads during Monday's introductory press conference in Dallas. It was the official end to a crazy few days that saw the 7'3" Latvian go from the Knicks franchise star, to a disgruntled one looking for a new beginning, to the centerpiece in a shocking blockbuster deal. The deal went down so fast that all the details surrounding the evolution of trading New York's franchise cornerstone were left murky. That is until the New York Times' Mark Stein did some digging to solve some of the questions Knicks fans may still have. Possibly the biggest question is whether or not the Knicks got the best deal for the 23-year-old Porzingis, who is almost a year out since he tore his ACL last season. It turns out New York was quietly poking around the league with Porzingis's name in trade packages for most of last month. They were looking to see if teams would part ways with their presumed untouchable players, like Jazz PG Donovan Mitchell and Kings PG De'Aaron Fox, but nothing came of it. December 9, 2018, Detroit, Michigan, USA. New Orleans Pelicans forward Anthony Davis, 23, during the game against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Mandatory credit, Tim Fuller, USA Today Sports. Tim Fuller, Pelicans star Anthony Davis has requested a trade, informing the team he has no interest in re-signing. With news of Davis wanting out came reports that the Knicks have strong interest in trading for him. Here are the latest rumors. Feb. 5:37 p.m. Because of outrageous demands by the Pelicans, the Lakers have pulled out of the Davis trade sweepstakes for now, reports Broderick Turner of the Los Angeles Times. Turner notes that Lakers president of basketball operations Magic Johnson told the Pelicans on Tuesday morning that they had made their best offer and would be moving on. August 21, 2016, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. USA forward Kevin Durant 5, and USA center DeAndre Jordan 6, celebrate winning the gold medal in the men's basketball gold medal match during the Rio 2016 Summer Olympic Games at Karaoke Arena 1. Mandatory credit, David E. Clutho, USA Today Sports. David E. Clutho, now that the dust has settled from the Knicks and Kristaps Porzingis breakup, New York is shining a spotlight on its remaining assets to pursue one of the highest-earning basketball players in the world. Knicks seem to have their sights set on acquiring pending free agent Kevin Durant. Although the glamour for a 9-time All-Star to play for a New York team that enters Tuesday on a 13-game losing streak is nowhere to be found, the Knicks possess a key chip in DeAndre Jordan. The two-time NBA rebound leader joined the Knicks in the package deal that sent Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks. New York could flip Jordan to pursue another max contract player like Anthony Davis, ending up as the buyout candidate. But the Knicks may have other ideas for Jordan. Although Knicks fans may have had their trade fill following the Kristaps Porzingis blockbuster, there's still a few days to go until the trade deadline, with several possible directions for New York. Here are a few of the directions they can go in by Thursday afternoon. Porzingis intro to Mavericks 0 hours 1 minute and 57 seconds. Former New York Knicks Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke are introduced as Dallas Mavericks. Kristaps Porzingis is just focused on the future. The former Knicks star was introduced as a member of the Dallas Mavericks on Monday, along with Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke, but the 7'3" Latvian had no interest in discussing why things went awry in New York that led to the trade. "The situation is what it is," he said. "I'd rather focus on what's ahead of me than looking back." Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant between plays against the Portland Trail Blazers during the fourth quarter at Oracle Arena. Kelly L. Cox, USA Today Sports. The Knicks seem to have their sights set on pending free agent Kevin Durant, and even before the Kristaps Porzingis trade that cleared space for two max free agents this summer, Durant and his brother were dropping hints that he could be on his way out of Golden State. After the Porzingis trade, Knicks officials are now reportedly highly optimistic that they'll land Durant via free agency. And Durant has been nowhere to be found in the Warriors locker room after the last two games, something Mercury News writer Dieter Kurtenbach finds odd. Durant is almost always around post-game. He's usually one of the last guys to leave the locker room after a game, Kurtenbach wrote Monday morning. But over the last two contests, he's been nowhere to be found. "And you can't convince me that has nothing to do with the Knicks." February 3, 2019, New York, USA. New York Knicks guard Wesley Matthews, 23, reacts during the first quarter against the Memphis Grizzlies at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, the Knicks are exploring the trade market for recently acquired Wesley Matthews, reports Mark Stein of the New York Times. While the Knicks are attempting to trade Matthews, there are plenty of teams, including the Rockets, Thunder, Raptors, 76ers, and Warriors, who are hoping the Knicks simply buy Matthews out so they can pounce, adds Stein. The 32-year-old Matthews, who was acquired along with Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and two future first-round picks in the blockbuster that sent Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, and Trey Burke to the Mavericks, is earning $18.62 million this year and will be an unrestricted free agent after the season. New York Knicks center Enes Kanter reacts as fans chant "We want Kanter" during the fourth quarter against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Even though the Madison Square Garden crowd kept chanting his name, Enes Kanter didn't see time on the court. Kanter logged another DNP coach's decision in Sunday's 96-84 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, his fifth such absence in the Knicks' last 7 games. And though he felt grateful for the fans' support, he said he couldn't completely revel in the moment. "I don't know if the organization wants to hear the chants every game because it's a little embarrassing," Kanter said, according to the New York Daily News' Stefan Bondy. "Because after this trade and everything, the fans still want me to go out there and play. I don't know if they want to hear that chant every game." I have no idea what they will do. New Knicks on their debut. 0 hours 1 minute and 9 seconds. DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr. and Wesley Matthews talk about their Knicks debut in a 96-84 loss to the Grizzlies on Sunday at MSG. In the second game since the Knicks sent Kristaps Porzingis to the Mavericks in a blockbuster deal, Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan made their debut as New York fell to the Grizzlies, 96-84 at Madison Square Garden. Greater than box score. Things to know about Sunday's Game 1. Smith had 8 points and 6 assists while getting the start at point guard and playing just over 25 minutes in his Knicks debut. New York Knicks president Phil Jackson left, and general manager Steve Mills answer questions during a news conference at the team's training facility, Friday, July 8, 2016, in Greenburgh, NY. AP photo, Julie Jacobson, AP. Knicks president Steve Mills opened up on Sunday about the Kristaps Porzingis trade, going into detail about why the team felt it had to act quickly and what they needed in return. While the Knicks have been criticized in some circles for acting as quickly as they did while trading Porzingis, Mills said the team didn't want to let things go beyond the Feb. 7 trade deadline out of fear that the team would lose leverage. We felt the 7th was really important because if we let this go beyond the 7th, the leverage completely shifted. We would not have control of the situation. We weren't sure what Kristaps was gonna come in and tell us. We didn't know if he'd come in and tell us he wanted to be traded, or he may have come in and said he wanted to do a 1-year contract with a player option, which would then have made him untradeable and he would have had all the leverage. Kristaps Porzingis, 6, mandatory credit, Isaiah J. Downing, USA Today Sports. Isaiah J. Downing, after bidding farewell to the fans, Kristaps Porzingis has been sounding off on social media since the Knicks traded him to the Mavericks Thursday in the deal that shook the NBA world. But his most cryptic message was posted on his Instagram story on Sunday morning: "The city deserves better than that. My suggestion for Knicks fans is to stay woke. Peace." It's not clear what KP is saying the city deserves better than, nor is it clear why Knicks fans should be staying woke. January 28, 2019, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale reacts during the second half against the Charlotte Hornets at the Spectrum Center. Hornets won 101-92. Mandatory credit, Sam Sharp, USA Today Sports. Sam Sharp, Mike Conley and Marc Gasol might be starting their final weeks as members of the Memphis Grizzlies, and the New York Knicks could unveil their new acquisition, Dennis Smith Jr. Sunday afternoon when the Grizzlies visit the Knicks in a matchup of struggling teams. Other storylines include Joakim Noah returning to New York as a reserve for Memphis after being cut by the Knicks earlier this season, and Knicks coach David Fizdale facing the team that gave him his first coaching job but also fired him for not getting along with Gasol. It's all part of the tale of the 2018-19 season for these two teams, which have transitioned to positioning themselves for the future instead of playing for the present. Dallas Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr. dunks during the second half against the Portland Trail Blazers at the American Airlines Center. Kevin J. Raj, USA Today Sports. Knicks head coach David Fizdale is hopeful he can trust the newly acquired Dennis Smith Jr. to revitalize New York's offense. "I want to put the ball in his hands a lot and get him out in the open court and get him a lot of space," Fizdale said on Saturday, according to ESPN's Ian Begley. "Give him some freedom to make some mistakes and while he's learning. At the same time I want to challenge him to do more defensively. To think more of himself defensively. But man, there's no doubt about it. The kid's a talent and hopefully we can bring it out consistently." Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson and forward R.J. Barrett react during the second half against the St. John's Red Storm at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Rob Kinnan, USA Today Sports. As the Knicks and their fans fantasize about a potential future featuring some combination of Zion Williamson, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, Williamson says it would be pretty sweet to play with those players. I mean, it would be dope to play with KD and Kyrie, but like I said, I'm enjoying college and whichever team drafts me I'm going to be ready to play hard and work, Williamson told me in the Duke locker room after going for 29 points, 6 rebounds, 5 steals and 2 blocks as no. Duke beat St. John's 91-61 on Saturday at Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Knicks, 10-41, own the NBA's worst record and have full-on stopped trying for Zion. This week, they traded Kristaps Porzingis and nearly half their team to the Dallas Mavericks, and now have nearly $75 million in cap space to pursue 2 max free agents this summer, with Durant and Irving squarely in their sights. Knicks look ahead after big deal 0 hours 1 minute and 29 seconds. Knicks coach David Fizdale, forward Kevin Knox and center Mitchell Robinson look to future after the big Porzingis deal. Knicks coach David Fizdale, forward Kevin Knox and center Mitchell Robinson all look to future after the big Kristaps Porzingis deal that sent the Unicorn to the Mavericks. It's been a whirlwind, Fizdale said Saturday. Watch everyone's comments on the trade here. AFC safety Jamal Adams poses with Genesis sedan after being named most valuable defensive player in the NFL Pro Bowl football game at Camping World Stadium. Kirby, USA Today Sports. Jet safety Jamal Adams doesn't just hope to recruit football stars to New York. Adams believes the Knicks will land 3 big-name NBA superstars, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. In a week that has made Knicks fans feel hopeless, Zion Williamson continues to show that the tanking efforts better work out in their favor. The Duke freshman dominated St. John's on Saturday in a 91-61 rout, scoring 29 points on 13 of 17 shooting and also added 6 rebounds, 5 steals and 2 blocks in the victory. No Williamson performance is complete without some of those impressive numbers coming on highlight reel-worthy plays. Click to watch Zion highlights below. In the aftermath of the Kristaps Porzingis trade that sent him to the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday, it became evident that there was a divide between the All-Star forward and the Knicks. There was a Daily News report that Porzingis voiced his frustrations to his teammates and Enes Kanter, another disgruntled Knicks veteran, confirmed those frustrations following Friday's 113-99 loss to the Celtics. The 26-year-old center, who has also demanded a trade from the Knicks after having his playing time diminished, said that he spoke with Porzingis often, including a summit at halftime during a game against the Thunder last month, and added the 23-year-old was unhappy with how the team was treating Kanter. Kyrie sought chanting a distraction 0 hours 1 minute and 37 seconds. Boston Celtics guard Kyrie Irving's first game at MSG since the Kristaps Porzingis trade led to Knicks fans chanting his name. In their first game since the big Kristaps Porzingis trade, the Knicks fell to the Kyrie Irving-led Celtics 113-99 at the Garden on Friday night. Greater than box score. Things to know about Friday's Game 1. With Porzingis gone, Irving may be one of the potential free agents that fills his spot this offseason, and Knicks fans welcomed him with loud cheers when he was called during starting lineups. Irving continued to hear cheers as he dropped a game-high 23 points on 9 for 20 from the field with 10 rebounds and 6 assists as well for a double-double. January 12, 2019, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. New Orleans Pelicans forward Anthony Davis, 23, looks on during the second half against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Mandatory credit, Jesse Johnson. USA Today Sports. Jesse Johnson, the biggest return in the Knicks trade of Kristaps Porzingis and other veterans with the Mavericks on Thursday was the nice chunk of cap space they freed up. It showed that the Knicks are throwing all their cards into an intriguing free agent class that could involve all-stars like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson to name a few. Knicks fans are already looking ahead to a Durant-Irving duo at Madison Square Garden, as the team has the ability now to sign 2 max players. But does this strategy mean New York is out on the Anthony Davis sweepstakes? Not necessarily. Fizdale discusses Porzingis deal 0 hours 1 minute and 56 seconds. New York Knicks head coach David Fizdale makes his first comments after Kristaps Porzingis was shipped off to Dallas. David Fizdale has nothing but love for the Knicks' former Latvian baller, a day removed from the blockbuster trade that sent the face of New York's franchise, Kristaps Porzingis, to the Dallas Mavericks. Along with Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke, the Knicks head coach began his press conference with appreciation for his athletes. "I just want to start off by thanking the guys that are going to Dallas," Fizdale said. "They were unbelievable professionals for me. It's never easy for a coach in these moments because you get so attached to guys. You go through a season where you struggle. I miss those guys and I really appreciate their approach to helping us back." Quote, December 6, 2018, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Boston Celtics guard Kyrie Irving, 11, drives past New York Knicks point guard Emmanuel Mudiay, 1, during the second half at TD Garden. Mandatory credit, Greg M. Cooper, USA Today Sports. Greg M. Cooper. The Knicks, 10-40, will play their first game after trading all-star big man Kristaps Porzingis and Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Trey Burke to the Dallas Mavericks for 2 first-round picks, Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan. The news of the trade emerged rapidly, after reports earlier in the day that Porzingis, who has yet to play this year as he recovers from a torn ACL, had met with Knicks management to express that he'd prefer to be traded. September 24, 2018, New York Knicks forward, center Kristaps Porzingis, 6, addresses the media at Knicks Media Day, Greenberg, NY, USA, caption, at MSG training facility. Mandatory credit, Wendell Cruz, USA Today Sports. Wendell Cruz. Another wrinkle was revealed in the aftermath of the Kristaps Porzingis trade on Friday. According to Stephen Bondi of the New York Daily News, the 23-year-old All-Star was nearing the completion of his rehab from ACL surgery he had last February and was essentially cleared to play. Porzingis, however, was wary of how the Knicks would handle his potential return amid the team's tanking efforts, further dividing the rift between the 7'3" Latvian unicorn and the Knicks front office. December 20, 2018, New York, USA. Duke Blue Devils forward Zion Williamson, 1, reacts against the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the first half of the Amaritas Insurance Classic at Madison Square Garden. Mandatory credit, Nicole Sweet, USA Today Sports. Nicole Sweet, Durham, North Carolina. Knicks coach David Fizdale may not be able to comment on Duke phenom Zion Williamson because of NBA tampering rules, but another high-profile New York City coach can. In the wake of Thursday's blockbuster trade that sent Kristaps Porzingis and several other players to the Dallas Mavericks to open up cap space for the summer of 2019, St. John's coach Chris Mullin talked up Williamson, whom Knicks fans are dreaming about landing in the NBA draft. Kyrie Irving on uncertain future. 0 hours 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Kyrie Irving deals with all the questions that are facing him after the Kristaps Porzingis trade created more rumors about his future. Kyrie Irving has a message for the Celtics, Knicks and any other team that might pursue him in free agency. "Ask me July 1st, he said. Irving, speaking to reporters ahead of Friday's Knicks-Celtics game at Madison Square Garden, addressed his impending free agency, a trending topic that followed after Thursday's blockbuster Kristaps Porzingis trade cleared enough cap space for the Knicks to sign 2 free agents to max contracts this summer. Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant reacts after making a basket against the New York Knicks during the first half at Madison Square Garden. Adam Hunger, USA Today Sports. Knicks officials are highly optimistic in their chances of landing Kevin Durant in free agency should he opt out of his player option and become an unrestricted free agent this summer, according to The Athletic's Sam Amick. The Knicks, who cleared enough cap space to sign 2 free agents to max contracts this summer with Thursday's blockbuster Kristaps Porzingis trade, are considered to have a strong chance at landing the 30-year-old former MVP. Of course, that is reliant upon Durant opting out of his $31.5 million player option with the Warriors, who are seeking their 3rd straight championship with Durant. A max deal with Golden State would be a 5-year, $221 million contract, while a max deal with any other NBA team would be a 4-year, $164 million contract. Houston Rockets forward Carmelo Anthony watches a teammate shoot free throws during the second quarter against the LA Clippers at Staples Center. Robert Hanashiero, USA Today Sports. The Chicago Bulls officially waived Carmelo Anthony on Friday, clearing the way for the former Knicks All-Star to become a free agent. Among the potential landing spots for Anthony, the Los Angeles Lakers remain a real possibility, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Anthony joining forces with LeBron James has been widely speculated for quite some time, and it is inching closer to a reality. New York Knicks forward Kristaps Porzingis, of Latvia, reacts after fouling out against the Denver Nuggets in the second half of an NBA basketball game Thursday, Jan. 25, 2018, in Denver. The Nuggets won 130-118. AP photo, David Zalabowski, AP. The Knicks made a stunning trade on Thursday that sent Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan and 2 future first-round picks. While the trade sent shockwaves through the league, it also opens up the necessary cap space for the Knicks to sign 2 max contract free agents this offseason. This is how the New York Backpages reacted to the trade. Mills confirms Porzingis news. 0 hours 1 minute and 5 seconds. New York Knicks president Steve Mills said on a conference call that Kristaps Porzingis said he didn't want to be a Knick anymore. When news broke earlier Thursday that Kristaps Porzingis was unhappy with how the Knicks' new direction was headed and no longer wanted to be a part of it, many believed the Knicks wouldn't give in, but that's exactly what when they sent Porzingis, along with Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke to Dallas in exchange for DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, a 2021 unprotected first-round pick and a 2023 top 10 protected first-round pick. So why did the Knicks decide to grant Porzingis' wish? They had all the control with the Latvian a restricted free agent, no trade clause in his contract, and the fact that he still has yet to play since his torn ACL last February, making his value much lower than it may have been in the past. January 27, 2019, Dallas, Texas, USA. Dallas Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr. warms up before the game against the Toronto Raptors at the American Airlines Center. Mandatory credit, Jerome Myron, USA Today Sports. Jerome Myron, the Knicks' return in the Kristaps Porzingis trade didn't feel like the best package they could have gotten for the 7'3" All-Star. DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews are expiring contracts that New York may want to trade or waive outright, and the 2 future first-rounders will come in a couple years, so the only true return that will impact the Knicks immediately will be 21-year-old PG Dennis Smith Jr., who the Mavericks have been shopping prior to the February 7 trade deadline. Many Knicks fans will remember Smith being a top candidate to take 2 years ago with the 8th overall pick, but Phil Jackson's regime decided to go with Frank Ntilikina instead. Smith was taken with the 9th overall pick by Dallas right after Ntilikina. Dallas Mavericks forward Luka Doncic looks to pass around New York Knicks guard Kadeem Allen during the second half at Madison Square Garden. Adam Hunger, USA Today Sports. The Knicks roster is in a limbo after the Kristaps Porzingis trade. Upon Thursday's blockbuster trade with the Mavericks that also sent Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke to Dallas, the players the Knicks received, Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan and Wes Matthews, won't be cleared and in New York in time for Friday's game against the Celtics. And considering Emmanuel Mudiay is dealing with a shoulder injury and Frank Ntilikina suffered a groin injury, who actually will play for the Knicks? Knicks set sights on free agency. 0 hours 1 minute and 13 seconds. New York Knicks traded Kristaps Porzingis and a few big contracts to open up cap space to sign 2 max contract players, but which ones? After a roller coaster day for Knicks fans, media and seemingly staff, the organization's best prospect since Patrick Ewing is now a Dallas Maverick. They have roughly $74 million in cap space to throw around this summer, and this city has gone *erases, scribbles *0 days since the last melodrama. A brief recap. Kristaps Porzingis was reportedly upset with the team's direction, aired his concerns out to management and wanted out, to which Scott Perry and Steve Mills quickly responded by flipping him. Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee and Trey Burke in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, a 2021 unprotected first-round pick and 2023 top 10 protected first-round pick. Got all that? Well, the timeline of all this transpiring is still fuzzy, and it's looking like the Knicks did not hold out for the